Actually, what do I care? Let's make some noise! Yes, welcome to Splash. I am your host, Kayne Tremills, and we are live in Queensland Museum, Brisbane. Now, I hope you guys are ready to strap yourselves in because we're going to get seriously Jurassic and Cretaceous as we take a journey to the age of dinosaurs and megabeasts. Oh, I should introduce these guys behind me as well. The ones that are doing the oohs and the ahs are from Kelvin Grove State College. What up, KG Squad? They're a well-trained audience. Now, we are also joined by a very special guest a little bit later on. He is Australia's dinosaur hunter, Dr Scott Hocknull. But before we introduce him, I want to let you know this. Splash is your show. This is your half hour of power. So you send in the questions and we will try our best to answer them. Now, I can hear what you're saying. Kayne, what if my questions don't make the show? Well, don't stress, don't fret, don't panic. I actually set up two lovely ladies in our Sydney studio. They are Melissa from the Australian Museum and, of course, Caitlin from the University of New South Wales. These ladies are professionals at life. If you have any questions, make sure you hit up our Splash website. In fact, it's a really good resource for anything, not just dinosaurs and megabeasts. You guys ready or what? Good, because that was going to get really awkward if you were not so ready. Please meet Dr. Scott Hocknull. He is the curator of geosciences here at the museum. He is also our resident know-it-all when it comes to dinosaurs, and he's also a paleontologist. Dr. Scott Hocknull, put it there, brother.
No, we don't do that.
Oh, yeah. We don't do that, sorry.
T-Rex fist pumps, actually.
Oh, T-Rex.
Hey.
Have you ever actually thought about what a T-Rex would look like if he was trying to make a bed? Imagine that.
Scratch his nose.
Yeah, oh, poor thing.
Doesn't seem to work, does it?
All right, let's get straight down to it, my friend. Why dinosaurs and for how long?
I've loved dinosaurs ever since I was a little kid. You know, growing up in Darwin, living with crocodiles, it was fantastic. But now, as an adult, I get to dig dinosaurs for real.
Ah, I see what you did there. Double entendre, you dig them. Yeah. I like that. So, my friend, tell me, what does a paleontologist do? Because all I can think of with my small little brain is some kind of Indiana Jones situation.
No, Indiana Jones was an archaeologist. They study human history. I'm a paleontologist. I look at life through time. Way back, even to 1 billion years ago, when there was just single-cell organisms, all the way up through dinosaurs and up to the present day.
Right. So what you're saying is, if we want to understand dinosaurs better, we have to study fossils.
That's right. Not just any old fossils, fossils of bones, teeth, footprints, eggshells, a whole range of fossils. How
long are we dating back?
Well, we can go back 1 billion years, but what we're going to look at today is 250 million years. 250
million years. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. That's pretty hard to imagine, right?
And imagine that it's only just a tiny fragment in the entire history of life.
Which is why we set this up. Doc Hock, take it away.
Come on down.
Here's something we prepared earlier. Not the kids, they were prepared by their parents, just the line. Anyway, take it away.
So, 250 million years ago, we're at the end of the Permian. So this is the Permian period, and this is before the time of dinosaurs. So no dinosaurs existed at this period.
But wait, hang on, what are on the pictures there?
Yeah, they look like dinosaurs, don't they? But they're actually not. They're reptiles. This is called Dimetrodon, had a big sail on the end of it.
Wait, hang on, so reptiles were before dinosaurs?
That's right, yep. A whole range of animals lived well before dinosaurs.
Right.
It wasn't until we get to the Triassic that we actually see dinosaurs start to appear. Here's a little tiny dinosaur that we found in Queensland. And what they actually ate and what they were living in was fossils like this. Here we have a beautiful fern fossil that was found in Queensland, in Brisbane, and it's 230 million years old, and you can see the ferns there.
You can see the prints there.
Beautiful impression.
And that fern is from Australia?
That's right, it's just from Brisbane, down the road.
Wow, there you go.
There you go.
Nice
Excellent.
one, thank you. And we're moving
Orange team, we're into the Jurassic period. Now everyone knows Jurassic Park.
Sorry.
Sort of like that, yeah. Well, we had a Jurassic dinosaur called Rheetosaurus, a big long-necked plant-eating dinosaur. And in fact, what it ate were the leaves off of trees, of very tall trees. And here we have some petrified wood from one of those big trees. Now it's 180 million years old. You can even see the growth lines there, but it's solid like rock.
Wow, so it actually feels like rock, but
that's right.
Wow, it's got some weight on it too. There
you go, thank you. Now, from the Jurassic, we get on to the Cretaceous. Now, this is when the dinosaurs really start to kick off. But in Queensland, we were completely covered by an ocean. And here we even have the evidence of it, thank you, where we've got a fish skull And here are the teeth, the beautiful teeth. And this is 105 million years old. But it was found in central Queensland, so obviously there was an ocean way back then.
That was a fish?
That's right. It would have been about 2 metres long.
That's a nasty looking fish.
Yeah, very sharp, pointy teeth.
Wow.
Thank you. And in the oceans as well, we had these shells, beautiful ammonites. And it's a weird looking thing called like a nautilus with a little squid that comes out.
It kind of looks like the tail of a seahorse.
No.
No?
No.
All
A
right.
bit of a...
I'll leave it up
like
to you, expert. Yep.
Now, when the oceans receded and and it was land, dinosaurs roamed around. Now, this is a bit of a trick one. I've thrown this one in here. It doesn't live in Australia, but what is it?
What? It either looks like a dried up banana, or if you've seen my show Bushwhacked, there's a new series coming soon, you'll know that that is a boomerang.
No. It's a fossil, and in fact it's a fossil of a very famous dinosaur. What I have in my pocket here is one that I ate last night.
What? That's a wishbone from a chicken.
That's right, I had roast dinosaur for dinner last night.
You're saying that that's exactly the same bone?
That's not just the same bone, but that's from Tyrannosaurus rex. So that's a Tyrannosaurus rex furcula or wishbone.
Wow, so that was placed where? Just in here?
Right in the chest, that's right. So it shows that birds and dinosaurs were absolutely closely related. In fact, birds are dinosaurs.
Birds are dinosaurs. You're blowing my mind here, Doc Hock.
Now, we're still at only 65 million years, so there's a big extinction event, massive meteorite hits the Earth, and we're into the tertiary. Now, in the tertiary period, in the oceans, we had amazing animals. And this is probably one of the coolest fossils that we've ever seen.
Check
now
that
that
out.
is a giant tooth of a massive great white shark, an extinct great white shark called Megalodon. Think of a great white that's 4 or 5 metres longer than the present day one.
And how many of these teeth would be lining the jaw?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
And you can see it's razor sharp. Absolutely beautiful, perfectly preserved. There we are.
So razor
and you
sharp.
can hold on to that one. You can go that one. Now, as we go through the tertiary, we get into the megabeasts.
Right.
And we turn up to a period of time where we have these amazing fossils, and this is actually the lower jaw from a marsupial lion. Now, it's a mammal, so it had fur, it was as big as a lion, lived in Australia, but wasn't a lion. It actually had a pouch like a kangaroo. So, yeah, get your head around it. A wombat crossed with a koala about the size of a lion that can eat meat and cleave and bite bones in half, had these big piercing teeth, and was present in Australia when the first Australians arrived 40,000 years ago.
Wow!
Now, to give you an idea of when that was, 40,000 years ago, right at the end of our time period, we've gone whole the way around 250 million years, and there is 40,000 years, just at the end.
Wow, a tiny little blip.
Tiny little bit. Now, when the first fleet arrived in 1788, we're talking about the width of a human hair at the end of that piece of paper.
Man, that is crazy. Oh, by the way, meet Vincent, Doc Hock.
Vincent,
Vincent, you've got a question for us, is that right?
What's the difference between a fossil and a stone?
What's the difference between a fossil and a stone? Good question.
We get that question quite a lot. And you know what? The funniest thing is that science is supposed to be really, really hard, but finding the difference between fossils and rocks is really easy. All you have to do is lick them.
Lick them?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? When I asked you what a paleontologist does, all you could have said was we lick rocks.
Well, after a while you get used to it. But if you want to have a crack at it...
Okay, nice one, Vincent, good work. All right, tell me. You walk up to different style rocks and lick them, and you can tell the difference between a fossil and a stone.
Well, over time you get to know what's definitely bone and what's not, but this is a rock.
Right.
So if you lick it, your tongue shouldn't stick to it.
Okay, this is just a rock.
So you want to grip... Oh, delicious.
This is ridiculous. Did you guys see that? I just licked a rock on national television. Good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to throw that one out. Okay. Now, this is a 100 million year old dinosaur bone. Now I know that, but you've got to figure out how.
Okay.
So
you guys want me to lick this? Should I lick this?
Give it a good old
lick.
lick.
It's a dinosaur bone. Shall I lick it? Okay, you're up for it. I'm up for it. Here we go. My tongue kind of it was coarse.
Yeah, that's right. It sticks to it. Now,
yeah,
it's because it's porous. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw that one out. Okay, so, but this is a tricky one.
This
is one that I'm not really sure what it actually is. I don't really know.
Okay.
Well, I kind of know, but if you give it a crack and see what you think.
Right. So I just lick. What? I'm supposed to tell you what it is?
Give it a good old lick and tell me what it is.
Okay. I'll just go around the whole way.
Yeah, if you can go around the whole way. Yep. That'd be great. It's delicious.
Tastes a bit like the other ones.
Yeah. So what do you reckon? Is it bone, rock?
I think I've had that before. I reckon that's rock. I don't think I've had bone before.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, what you're actually licking there is a fossil poo.
Sorry?
Yeah, fossil poo.
Poo?
Yeah.
Fossil poo?
Yeah, it came out of the backside of a crocodile 3 million years ago.
I just licked fossil poo. How many years ago?
Yeah, about 3 million years ago.
I just licked really old poo just then. What do you guys reckon? Pretty cool?
Was it delicious?
Disgusting, yeah, gross. I've got an idea, Doc Hock. What about if I was to maybe get one of the KG squad's teachers involved? You guys reckon that's funny?
Yeah.
What do we reckon?
Yeah,
What do we reckon? Because they're sitting over the back here, laughing at me. Let's get a teacher. Yes, you, come on down.
This is
come
the best
down,
professional development you'll ever have.
Okay, what do the KG squad call you, my dear?
Mrs. Karouche.
Mrs. Karouche. Mrs. Karouche, are you willing to lick years old poo on air? Who cares? You ready? Lick, 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 lick. Ew! What does it taste like?
Rock.
Have you had that before? There you go. She's just reached legendary status. Give it up for your teacher from Kelvin Grove. Nice work, Karouche. Good work. Put it there. Put it there. Go think about what you've done, my dear.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I'm gonna have
Here
to
on
watch that
Splash,
one.
we lick poo to tell you what you need to know. Now, apparently, we've got a second question from one of our guys. Is it Grace over here? Grace, tell us, what's your question?
How can you tell dinosaurs from their bones?
How do we tell
How do we tell
dinosaurs?
dinosaurs from
Well,
bones?
it's actually a pretty cool question because that's a lot of the things we only get are bones. Once you've licked them enough and actually found that you've got bone, you go the next step and you have to prepare the fossils. Now, one of the coolest fossils that we've got here is the hand of Australovenator.
Right.
Now, this is a model that we've made of the hand, but this is the bone that was actually inside the hand. You can see the claw that goes across there.
So this one's real.
That's right. That's the real claw and the real hand. Now, it's all part of the skeleton. Now, what's interesting is we have in our fingers keratin, which is actually the fingernail, and that goes over the top of the bone. So you imagine the claw actually went all the way down to here, so 30 centimetre long claws. Well, you can figure out what this thing ate. It certainly didn't eat plants.
Yeah,
it was a meat eater.
That was a solid meat eater. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
very, very cool.
A little bit like Wolverine, huh?
Yeah, this is the original Wolverine.
Yeah, awesome. What else have we got? What kind of fossil is this one here?
That one's a bit weird. We haven't reconstructed that one.
Oh,
I think you may have brought that one in.
Yeah, that's my lunch. That's actually not supposed to be here. That's what you get for live television. Whoop, what's up? Anyway, moving on. What else have we got?
Right, so what we have here is some footprints.
Yep.
And these footprints come from Winton, okay, in central Queensland, and they're actually part of a series of trackways. There's thousands of little footprints, so we realised that these little dinosaur footprints come from small dinosaurs. So not all dinosaurs were big and nasty. They're actually all, some could be quite small.
All right, Doc Hock, we do know a little bit more about dinosaurs thanks to you, but what I really want to know is more about these mega beasts.
Well, megabeasts came after the time of the dinosaurs, right? So the dinosaurs are mostly extinct, except for the birds, remember. But when we get into this period of time of the megabeasts, we're talking about gigantic versions of present-day animals. So what we actually have fossils here, we have here, this is a little tiny bone. It's called a scute, or an osteoderm, and it's from the back of an ancient crocodile. Sort of the crocodile that probably did that poo. Now, this bone sits underneath the skin. So you imagine the bumps on the back of a crocodile's body,
right,
and underneath each bump is a bone. Now, this comes from Palimnarchus, the giant, extinct freshwater crocodile.
How big are we talking?
About 7 metres long.
7 metre.
Now, there's hundreds of those little bones in its back.
Wow.
Now, that was in the water. Now, if you're on land, your megabeast on land would be Megalania. Now, this is a vertebra from the spine, a single vertebra. Now, it's from a 6 metre long lizard. And in this case behind us, we actually see the skull all the way back to its tail, but that's just one vertebra of the whole animal.
That's one lizard.
That's
that
right.
Whole
case, 6 metres long, related to the Komodo dragon and even the lace monitor. So it was a goanna. Wasn't a dinosaur, but grew to the size of dinosaurs.
Wow.
Really
if you were to
crazy
catch
animal.
that goanna, that would feed you for like a year off its meat, right?
Actually, what you would probably find, it would catch you and it would feed off you for maybe a few weeks.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Now, what it was actually eating were giant mega herbivores.
Yep.
Now, herbivores are plant eaters, so mega plant eaters. And here we have a lower jaw, okay, with the molars and the incisor, the front tooth and the molars, just like ours. And these are huge and built for grinding. So unlike the Megalania and the crocodiles that had sharp teeth, for piercing, they had these blunt teeth are grinding.
What was this mega beast most similar to in our day?
Like a giant wombat. It's called Diprotodon. Now, Diprotodon was this enormous animal, about the size of a van, but it was a marsupial. So if you imagine something as big as a rhinoceros, but with a pouch and these big tusks at the front, it's a very strange animal, and a pouch. Yeah. So if you were around at the time, you could have ridden around in its pouch.
Right, it's like the ultimate beast.
Ultimate
All right,
beast.
Doc Hock, I have to move over to our online friends. Corbin! Corbin! Where are you, Corbin? Corbin is my special tablet holder.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I'm going to get my online questions. Ah, Corbin, there you are. I was worried about you for a moment. Okay, Corbin, what do we got? What's the first question? This one here comes from Maya from Melbourne, my hometown. Doc Hock, the question is, why were mega beasts so big?
Well, they're enormous because they had to eat a lot of food. So a lot of the plant-eating mega beasts, like Diprotodon, were grazers, so they ate a lot of grass and they grew big because it wasn't very nutritional. It wasn't like they were going down and snacking on really, really nutritional food. They were just eating awful grass. So basically they had to be that big to eat as much as they could. Now the big predators, the animals that ate those, had to grow big so they could tackle such a big piece of
evolution takes place.
They get bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually they go extinct.
Interesting. All right, another online question. Corbin! Corbin, there you are, my good friend. This one's from David from Wagga. Hello, David from Wagga. Your question is, what's Australia's deadliest dinosaur? Good question.
Well, we've seen that one before, and it's Australovenator. Now, when I was part of the discovery team that actually found the first bones of Australovenator, and what that actually means, the scientific name means southern hunter. Australo means southern, Venator means hunter, and the species name is wintonensis, which basically means from Winton. So in central Queensland, where this big stampede was found, also were the bones of Australovenator. It's the most complete meat-eating dinosaur ever found. We didn't have T-Rex. We didn't have Velociraptor. Right. We had our own serious killing machines. This is way better than T-Rex or Velociraptor.
Awesome. Interesting. All right, let's get another Corbin. Hello, Corbin. All right, here we go. This one's from Richard from Brisbane. Did giant crocs eat giant wombats? That's a good question. Was there like a giant battle going on?
The clash of the titans.
Yeah.
Actually, there was. In fact, we have evidence of that. In the bones that we're finding in northern Queensland, a place called Nebo, at a mine site, we've actually gone in there and excavated the bones of giant wombats and giant crocodiles. Now, in the bones of the giant wombats, we've found puncture marks where the teeth from the large crocodiles actually pierced into the bones and left their marks. So we knew that they actually did eat. The big crocodiles did eat these big wombats.
It's like something out of a movie. All right, Corbin, what do we got? Here we go. We're coming in. We're coming in hot. All right. Finn asks, what caused the megafauna stage?
That's a really, really deep question, and it's a big answer because we've got a 60 million year period for the mega beasts to come after the dinosaurs. So imagine that the dinosaurs, they were the biggest of their kind at the time, they're driven extinct, and so there's nothing to fill that niche. And so over time, mammals like us, lizards, snakes, even birds, evolve huge size to fill the niches that the dinosaurs once did. And eventually they get to such a big size that they're mega. So an elephant, for example, is a megafauna of today, but these animals are even bigger than that.
Okay, so I want it to be demystified right here, right now. Doc Hock, are dinosaurs ever coming back?
Yes, they're already here.
What do you mean they're already here? You mean like in a museum?
Yeah, well, sort of. Well, they're birds. I mean, dinosaurs.
You said that before.
Dinosaurs
All
are
birds
birds.
are dinosaurs?
That's right. From your tiniest chicken all the way up to the cassowary. And what we've been able to do here at the museum is actually build them back from their bones. So we use the bones of dinosaurs and we CT scan them. We actually use X-rays to CT scan the bones and build the flesh back up on top of them using CT scans of emus and cassowaries and so on. So we use modern day dinosaurs to help us reconstruct ancient dinosaurs. Wow. And we've actually done that here at the museum using 3D printers.
3D printers? You're making dinosaurs?
Pretty much. We're not making them live and run around. I mean, that would be very cool.
Yet.
Maybe, yeah, that's right. Maybe one day. But what we do have back here are some 3D printouts of some of the dinosaur feet that made the trackway that was sitting behind us. So this is a large, fairly large, emu-sized ornithopod dinosaur, which means it ate plants, but you can see its little scales and its claws, but that's come from a 3D printer. So it's printed layer upon layer, tiny little layers, like 100 microns, which is the thickness of a piece of paper, layer upon layer. And there you have it.
Amazing
3D printed layer.
what technology can do these days.
From one of the ancient sciences to the latest cutting edge.
Do you know, I heard this from a friend down the road. Apparently you can send mail, not by actual mail, but you can send it electronically. They call it email. Technology.
Yeah, it's really
another online question, Corbin! Corbin! Hey, Corbin. Brandon asks, how long does it take to dig up a dinosaur? Good question, Brandon. Corbin, thank you.
Well, it depends how big your dinosaur is.
And how big your tongue is, apparently.
That's right, if you go along licking dinosaur bones all day.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the sites that we work in Queensland take several weeks a year to go and dig a dinosaur bone up. But the funny thing is you can dig an entire site in only a couple of weeks using lots of volunteers. But you know what takes the time? Once you've got it out of the ground, you have to use these tiny little chisels and probes to get away that last little bit of dirt because it's sitting on top of the bone. So it takes you weeks and weeks and weeks and months, maybe even years, to expose entire bones. Now, we're not talking about skeletons like ours that are tiny. We're talking about skeletons that are from animals that grew up to 30 metres long. Wow. So it can take nearly decades even to prep them up.
Doc Hock.
Mutabarosaurus behind us is a good example of that.
What is the best find, according to you, that you've ever discovered?
That I've ever made?
Yeah.
I think being the first person to find the first bone of Australorventor was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Before we found that first bone, meat-eating dinosaurs in Australia were very poorly known. In fact, they were just fragments. Right. But we found this one toe bone, and I was like, wow, there's a meat-eating dinosaur in this deposit somewhere in amongst the bones of a bigger plant eater. And as we excavated over the next week or so, more and more bones of this one dinosaur we nicknamed eventually Banjo came out. You can go and see Banjo's bones up at Age of Dinosaurs in central Queensland and Winton. So you can go and see these things for real. It's not something that's kept in the back lots of the museum.
Or a museum.
And you can go and see these things for real, and you can be part of it. And that's the cool thing about being in Australia, is you can go and dig dinosaurs.
It's for real. It's not a myth, it's for real.
Yeah.
Corbin! Corbin. Okay, a question from Tacking Point. Which state had the most dinosaurs? Good question from Tacking Point.
The state of origin of dinosaur discoveries.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say Queensland rules the roost, but that's only in the last decade or so.
Okay.
We've started to find lots of dinosaurs here. What's interesting is in Victoria, in Melbourne,
yeah,
the Dinosaur Cove, right down on the coastline there are lots of dinosaurs that have been found there over many decades, 30 years or so. But a lot of those are small bones. The big dinosaur bones are being found in Queensland, and the huge dinosaur footprints are being found in Broome in Western Australia. So in fact, no one state rules the roost as far as dinosaurs are being are found. It's all over the country. Queensland seems to have the lion's share right now, but you know, give it another 10 years and who knows what we're going to find.
Yeah, unreal. So you mentioned Mutabarosaurus behind us, this big guy. Tell us about him.
Well, Mutabarosaurus is really cool. He's a plant-eating dinosaur. He's probably one of the most iconic dinosaurs in Queensland and in Australia. And he's only just had his birthday, as in his discovery.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
And he was...
Happy birthday! No one? Okay, thanks, guys.
He's about 100 million years old, about 105 million years old.
Right.
And he's one of the more complete dinosaurs. And he was found in the actual ocean sediments that covered Queensland. So his carcass, he was an animal that lived on land, a dinosaur lived on land, but his carcass floated out into this big ocean and was fossilised out there in the ocean. Now, that ocean is central Queensland. It's completely dry. There's no ocean there anymore, right. But you find the fossils of what lived in this ocean 100 million years ago. It's quite amazing, you know, to see these fossils.
It's incredible. The other thing that's amazing is your online questions. They're buzzing, apparently. Apparently, Melissa and Caitlin are working off the clock. Corbin, have we got another one? This one is from Joa Junction, and they ask, which is closely related to the Ankylosaurus? Did I pronounce it right? The Ankylosaurus.
It's an Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus.
And I think the question is about, is there a dinosaur in Australia that's related to Ankylosaurus? And that is actually a dinosaur called Minmi.
Minmi.
Not mini-me.
No, Minmi.
But Minmi.
Minmi.
It's a tiny little dinosaur. It's only about the size of a yearling cow. Its skeleton is just over there. It's the most complete dinosaur ever found in Australia. In fact, it's so complete that you even see the little bones inside its skin. So when it died, its carcass sort of mummified, and that skin wrapped around its bones, and you can actually see that in the fossil. So you see all of its armour. And ankylosaurs and those sorts of dinosaurs were built for armour. They had armoured plates on their back and spikes, and the big ones overseas had big clubs on the end of their tail. Minmi wasn't like that. He was a little bit more agile, bit of a runner, probably because it was being chased by Australovenator.
Right. That's insane. So in the dinosaur megabeast world, did megabeasts and dinosaurs exist at the same time?
No. Dinosaurs existed well before the megabeasts. So the megabeast came when...
There was never a crossover?
No, that's right. So the extinction of dinosaurs, or most of them, came at 65 million years ago. And that was when a monstrous great asteroid, or perhaps actually two, latest science suggests that 2 asteroids hit the Earth around 65 million years ago. And one that we definitely know hit smacked into the Earth, where now we see the Gulf of Mexico in southern South America. It was so big, it was about 10 kilometres across this rock that smashed into the Earth, that it would have caused an enormous eruption, massive tsunamis, changed the entire globe, and unfortunately the dinosaurs, which were the top of their tree, all died out. It sort of makes you think, you know, we're not that big.
All right, another online question. Corbin, my friend. Hello, good sir. This one is from Mrs. Marks. Hi, Mrs. Marks. How many water megabeasts and dinosaurs do we know of? So the ones that are in the water. Thank you, Corbin.
Wow, that's a big question. Well,
Mrs. Marks, get straight to the point.
Right down, top marks.
Yeah. See what we did there?
Oh,
that wasn't planned.
No. So what we have is marine reptiles, the animals that lived at the same time as dinosaurs, or what people call the swimming dinosaurs. They're not dinosaurs at all, not related to them. They're more closely related to, say, lizards and crocodiles. Now, at the time of the dinosaurs, there is around about 1,000 or more species that we know of. But there's about 3,000 that haven't really ever been fully described or named yet. And that's just of what we've found. And over 150 million years, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
You have fossils of dinosaurs that you have no idea what they are or who they are.
Heaps. And in fact, in Queensland, there are more dinosaurs that we don't know about, that we're studying right now, than have been described in the past. So Muttaburrasaurus and Minmi, Australovenator, they're all having their new friends come along, and you can start naming them Diamantinosaurus, Wintonotite, and Rhedosaurus. All these fantastic dinosaurs that are all Australian, uniquely Australian, and found nowhere else on Earth.
Corbin, online question. Are you getting all this? Are you taking the notes down? Because there's a lot going on, isn't there? All right, we're going to quiz you straight after this. You're going to answer everything. All right, this question is from Ella. What was the biggest dinosaur? I like that, straight to the point. Thank you, Corbin. Remember, writing that down. Yep.
Biggest dinosaur. Well, it depends what you say about big. Lengthwise, dinosaurs like Diplodocus that were enormously long, you know, and they grew up to 45 metres long, these dinosaurs. So
45
metres, so nearly half the length of a running track.
Yeah.
But they're very, very long and gracile. They have long necks, long tails, and big legs. The heaviest dinosaurs were also the sauropod dinosaurs. Now, we have a big one in Queensland that is called Cooper. Now, it's not been described yet. Cooper, yeah. It's named after the Cooper Creek down in southwest Queensland, near Arramanga.
Yep.
And that's the biggest so far. Maybe we'll find bigger ones. Certainly the footprints in Broome, these are of enormous dinosaurs. It may have even been another half a size again to
What
Cooper.
are we talking about? How big are the footprints? If we were standing inside one of the footprints...
Well, some of the footprints are over 2 metres wide.
Wow.
So we're talking back here, all the way back, in a big dish shape.
And that's just a foot.
That's 1 foot, that's right.
Woo!
So, and we don't even have the bones of those animals yet. So we've found footprints of dinosaurs we don't even have bones of. We've found bones of dinosaurs we don't have footprints of. So there's so much to find. There's so much out there that we have not yet found, that the world is open. And Australia is like one of the last frontiers, because there are lots of dinosaurs found in North America, lots found in Asia, but in Australia we're just starting to find new dinosaurs.
Well, you do some incredible work. KG Squad, I want you to make the biggest amount of noise you possibly can in the Queensland Museum for Doc Hock! Now, Doc Hock. We're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to make some noise for our KG squad. Just you and I. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! And of course, all together, I want to make some noise not only for our online questioners, but of course for Melissa and Caitlin all the way back in the Sydney studio. 1, 2, 3. Make some noise! That is sadly all we have time for. Until next time, all the way from the Queensland Museum here in Brisbane, I am Kayne Tremills. This here is Dr Hocknull. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night from Splash. See ya. Peace.
Oh, sorry.